I know how easy it is to look up and suddenly realize that it's like a week into May. And there's no worse feeling than realizing how much is actually going to be on your plate, especially in May. I have always said this is one of the most stressful times of the year. It's like end of school year, start of school year, and the winter holidays / winter break. Since May tends to feel like a blur, I wanted to create a space for us to just hit pause before we dive headfirst into such a busy time of year. And this is not about any pressure to plan. I want to give you a chance to reflect a little before life really speeds up. So we'll take some time to anticipate what might be coming up for you in the month of May, talk about what it looks like to just take a quick pause. And then I'll share a little bit about what's shifted for me and made a really big difference in helping take busy months like May in stride and share what you could do to experience the same. If that's what you need more of in your life today, you're in the right place. Let's simplify things together. Your day starts before you're ready. And from the moment you open your eyes, you're managing everything. Schedules, logistics, the million little things no one else even notices. By the time you get a second to breathe, the day is already gone. You just need a way to make what matters fit without constantly feeling like you're falling behind. I'm Erin Christopoulos, a mom of two, an educator turned mom strategist, and on the Mom Life Handbook podcast, I help you lighten the mental load, simplify daily life, and create more breathing room without adding more to your plate or making you feel like you're not doing enough. I share practical, doable strategies and short episodes that fit your day, so you can start making life easier right now without rearranging everything to make it happen. If you're ready to stop feeling behind and start moving through mom life with more ease, hit follow on your podcast app now so you never miss an episode. Okay, so why is May so much to manage? Now, it does look a little bit different for everyone, but on the whole, the school year is wrapping up. Whether it's wrapping up in early June or late May, it doesn't really matter. Either way, mid to late May, you are going to be in the throes of all of the end of school year activities and disrupted schedules. There's also a lot of emotions that come with this time of year, and you might also be looking at award ceremonies, graduation parties. There's Mother's Day. And as if your life weren't busy enough, you're throwing in so many extras. It's just pushing your mental bandwidth to the max. And trying to keep track of all of this and manage it all is exhausting. And it's really easy to drop the ball on things as well. But before you go grabbing a new planner or printing off a calendar for the month of May, I want you to just breathe, because the truth is, yeah, it is busy, but you can't hyper schedule your way into a successful month. If you try to just make a big list of everything going on and everything that has to get done and find the time to get it all done, you're going to stress yourself out. You're going to put a lot of time and energy into things that don't actually matter to you, and you're going to feel really overwhelmed before you even start the month. Take a few moments in the next day or two and give yourself a moment to get clear. I want you to disrupt this pattern of defaulting to autopilot, of always just charging through and trying to get it all done. I know that it feels like it's expected that you do anything and everything that comes up, especially for the end of the school year or for Mother's Day. But what you can do instead is take some time to define what you want that experience to be like, to really choose what's going to be important and meaningful to you and your family. And if you can ask yourself, like, well, what do I want this month to feel like? That in and of itself is going to help you edit down your list of priorities real fast, because there are a lot of things that come up in May that you have zero interest in. Zero. And I think that that's okay. In fact, I think that's a good thing. It immediately helps you know, here are the things that cause me to feel stressed or anxious and overwhelmed. Is that how you want your May to feel? If the answer's no, which I'm guessing it is, then you say no to those things and you say no to them guilt-free. I think that is also a great distinction point when you can start to tease out as well, like, okay, maybe this is something that's important to my kids and I want to make it happen because it matters to them. Great. Does it automatically have to be something that you take on, or is it something that can be delegated to someone else? It's hard being the default parent, and it is okay to recognize when you do not have the capacity to take on yet another thing and you need to ask someone else who is involved in your child's life to play the role of supporting them and what matters to them, because chances are they have some extra capacity, or together the two of you could figure out how to make it work. Or sometimes we just have to pass, and that's okay too. But when you can head into the month with the clarity around what matters, how you want to feel, and what the bandwidth is that you have, it makes it so much easier to know how you're going to approach all these extra events and activities and to-dos that come with this busy season of life. And then on the more emotional side, you also tie in Mother's Day. It is such a complicated holiday. I feel like well-intentioned, and it could be something that is just such a nice time for us with our families. But more often than not, I hear from moms about how disappointed they feel after Mother's Day. Nobody wants that. But how do you work through that, and how do you get ahead of it? More importantly, I thought it would be helpful to share something I learned a couple of years ago around Mother's Day. And since I've been able to work through a lot more effectively, so that Mother's Day is something that I look forward to. It's not something that I'm like on pins and needles wondering, like, is this going to be a year where Mother's Day feels great, or is this a year where I'm once again frustrated? And more than anything, I think the takeaway I want you to have here is the difference that it can be to just be reflective, so that even if Mother's Day is something that like works really well for you, you can apply it to other aspects of your life, right? Now, something that you need to know, my birthday is in early May. So by the time Mother's Day rolls around, it's always 1 week later. So I get that for my family to celebrate me on my birthday and then turn around and celebrate me again a week later for Mother's Day, it can feel a little bit forced, right? Like it takes my family's time, emotional capacity to put some thoughtfulness into my birthday. And to then expect that they're going to turn around a week later and repeat it again for me for Mother's Day is probably a little bit unrealistic. But there was one year in particular where Mother's Day just fell apart. There were no cards. There was nothing planned. And my kids didn't even tell me Happy Mother's Day until late afternoon. Needless to say, I was not only frustrated, but deeply hurt. And it was really hard for me to figure out, why am I hurt? Do I think that my family doesn't love me? No, not at all. Like I know they just a week ago, they really showed me how much they love me because they celebrated me in such a beautiful way for my birthday. What I finally keyed in on was that I had expected X, Y, and Z of my family, and I had expected them to be mind readers. And I was disappointed when they couldn't do that. Now, practically speaking, there was definitely miscommunication between Jason and the kids about whether they had wished me a happy Mother's Day. So there was that. But if I wanted to go out for a hike with my family, because maybe that's what I would have enjoyed to do, how would they have ever known that if I didn't let them know what it is that I would find to feel meaningful? I don't want a gift. I don't want a card necessarily. Like if those are things that they feel inspired to do as a gesture to show how much they appreciate me as a mom, then awesome. But if it's something else like time spent together, then I'm here for that too, right? But I never took the time to actually have an honest conversation with my family about what my internal feelings were around the holiday. So as painful as that particular Mother's Day was, it's helped Mother's Day feel so much more enjoyable since. That's because I was able to speak openly about what I really wanted, what really felt meaningful. And if I hadn't had the experience of being pushed into really having to figure that out, I probably would have continued to have Mother's Day after Mother's Day after Mother's Day feel really disappointing and frustrating. So my encouragement to you is that you take the time to be honest with yourself, with your thoughts, and to get clear about what you want out of any given experience, whether it's Mother's Day or if you have a small celebration for kindergarten graduation, or You want to do something to celebrate the end of the school year, like whatever it is. If you have high expectations or high hopes for anything coming up in the month ahead, I want you to get clear on what those things are, why they really matter, how you want them to feel, and I want you to share that with your family. It is kind to be clear. Be clear with them about what you hope for the month ahead and give them the opportunity to share that as well. You know, your kids might really have high expectations for the end of the school year, and there are probably certain activities that really matter to them that you would never in a million years want to put any time and effort into. But unless they communicate it to you, you wouldn't know. So creating that space for that open communication is so important. And that really did help shift for me in these times of year when life is so busy, to create an experience that's unique to our family and supportive of everyone who's a part of it and living it together. Now, if you're looking for a way to hit pause and be reflective and get your head wrapped around everything that is coming up in the month ahead, I created a resource called A Calm Start to May. It's $10. Actually, it's $5 until the month of May hits. So buy it in April. It's $5. This is not a checklist. This is not a calendar. This is not an A to Z planning system. This is about getting really clear about what you want May to feel like, anticipating what might be coming up for you, editing out the things that really don't matter, and lightening the mental load of having to keep track of all these different activities and events that might be cropping up as the school year comes to a close. It costs us a lot to be living day to day without a plan or without being just one step ahead. I was talking to my friend over the weekend, following up on Easter and how things went. And she was very honest with me. And she said I could share this. She said, I totally forgot Easter was coming. And I'm kicking myself because I knew it happens every spring. I knew it was coming, but I didn't have things for an Easter basket. So she was having to stress and order things while she was at work. And then she's like, I don't even know what we're going to make. And then she went to the grocery store and she's like, I guess we'll get ham. We don't really like it, but that's what people have on Easter. So we'll get a ham. Couldn't find a ham. Finally found ham. Cost her $100 for this ham that they weren't even that excited to eat. It costs us so much on an emotional capacity, a physical capacity, and even a financial capacity to wait until the last minute because we are just trying to get through one day to be able to get into the next and get through that day, right? So if you have 15 minutes to sit down and even just get clear on what you want for your month of May and get clear on the tasks related to the events that are coming up in your month ahead, you are going to find yourself in such a calmer place than you would otherwise be. And that is why I created A Calm Start to May. It's honestly a resource I've been thinking of making for the past year. And I can't tell you how many months where I was like, oh my gosh, if I just had that resource already made up with everything at my fingertips, the important dates to remember, all the tasks and activities, and all the mental load stuff, all the invisible labor that just inherently comes with each month. If I just had that and I didn't have to try to remember it on my own, I'd be so much better off. So I finally created it. Once I heard my friend say to me, she's going through that too. I'm like, that's it. Moms need this. So please go grab it. I'll link it in the show notes, or you can just go to shop.momlifehandbook.com. You will see A Calm Start to May there. You can even pre-order June if you would like, where I'm going to help you transition into summer mode with the kids. And you can check out some of the other resources that are already there in the shop waiting for you. I want you to feel supported in the month ahead. And whether you choose to grab that resource or you even just take some of the ideas from this podcast today, I hope that you feel just a little bit lighter and a little bit clearer on what you want for yourself over the next few weeks in the month ahead. I think it'll make such a big difference. Here's to your calmest start to May yet. Bye for now.